That's why he wanted to get out, you know, so bad. But I think that they're gonna railroad Diddy. Do I think that they're maggots in the food? I mean, I won't trust anything when you of the stature of Diddy. Think they give every inmate maggot food? Probably not.
When you talk about Diddy's downfall, you're not just talking about another celebrity scandal. You're talking about one of the wildest spirals in hip-hop history. The man who once called himself Brother Love is now locked up in the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York, a place described by insiders as straight up hell on earth. And what's making headlines isn't just that he's behind bars. It's the disturbing rumors about how he's living in there, the scandals from his past catching up to him, and the shocking new details leaking out every week. Life inside MDC ain't sweet for anyone, not even a music mogul. Reports describe the food as maggot-infested slop, phone time being traded like currency, and guards who look the other way while inmates run their own politics. Rumors say Diddy's even had to cut deals for extra privileges, which is a crazy look for someone who once flexed billions in front of the world. Insiders claim he's been spotted looking frail, stressed, and way different from the flashy boss image he sold for years. But the prison rumors go deeper, way deeper. One of the wildest claims floating around is that Diddy has gotten caught up in DL activity behind bars, with whispers that he's been entertaining relationships with other inmates for protection and comfort. It's the kind of talk that spreads fast in a place like MDC. And while nothing's confirmed, the fact that people believe it shows just how damaged his image already is. The same man accused for years of throwing those secret freak-off parties is now the subject of speculation about what's really happening to him inside. And let's not forget the leaked prison call that shook everything. Word is Diddy was caught on tape telling his son to destroy evidence connected to the federal raids. That call spread across gossip blogs like wildfire, painting the picture of a man who knows his empire is collapsing. The feds raided his mansions, seized hard drives, and insiders swear they're sitting on hours of incriminating footage. For someone already facing lawsuits from former associates, ex-girlfriends, and even bodyguards, a recorded call like that is gasoline on the fire. Then there are the health rumors. For years, people in the industry whispered about Diddy's reckless lifestyle. Freak parties, multiple partners, no protection. Now rumors are spreading that he's battling serious health issues, including STDs and possibly HIV/AIDS. Jaguar Wright, Cat Williams, and other outspoken voices have hinted at it publicly, claiming Diddy's been reckless for decades. Whether it's true or not, the whispers are enough to keep fans questioning what's real. Put it all together, and Diddy's story has gone from rap mogul to cautionary tale. He built an empire on music, business, and influence. But now that empire looks like it's crumbling in front of the whole world. And the worst part? Every week brings new voices, new allegations, and new details that make it all look even darker.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. They also saying that Diddy, he got inmates in jail making his bed. You heard about that?
Bro, I'm gonna say it like this. Puff gonna be okay. Puff got money. Puff got hands. And all he really needs is 2 or 3 shot callers up on him.
The biggest stain on Diddy's name didn't start in jail. It started long before with the rumors of his secret parties. For years, insiders whispered about Diddy's freak-offs, exclusive gatherings where celebrities, models, and industry players were brought into a world of excess, exploitation, and power games. What made it worse? Former associates say most of these parties weren't about fun, they were about control. Take Jaguar Wright, for example. She's been one of the loudest voices, saying Diddy ran a system where stars were lured into situations that could later be used against them. Cat Williams said something similar, that Diddy tried to pull him into shady deals, and when he refused, his career took a hit. Then you have actors like Terrence Howard, who claimed he dodged Diddy's advances and paid the price in Hollywood. To them, Diddy wasn't just a mogul. He was a manipulator playing chess with people's lives. And the guest lists at these alleged parties were wild. Names like Meek Mill, YK Osiris, French Montana, and even R&B singers have been thrown around. Sometimes it was bodyguards and assistants leaking stories. Other times it was mysterious videos popping up online. One clip supposedly showed YK Osiris being led into one of those freak-offs, and though he never confirmed it, the rumor followed him everywhere. For Meek Mill, old footage and shady whispers tied him to Diddy's inner circle, with fans clowning him as one of Puff's favorites. Whether true or not, these stories stained reputations and made people question how much of the industry is built on silence and secrets. And here's the thing, when people refuse to play the game, Diddy allegedly punished them. That's why so many entertainers have come forward recently, now that he's locked up and vulnerable. They feel like the power is gone, and they're free to talk. From male escorts describing wild, freaky scenes, to insiders exposing videos of celebrities being compromised, the picture painted is one of corruption and exploitation hidden behind mansions, yachts, and billion-dollar deals. Now tie that back to his current situation. If the feds really have those hard drives from his raids, and insiders swear they do, then it's not just tax records or business files they're holding. The rumor is those drives hold footage from the parties, tapes that could blow open the entire Hollywood system. That's why the internet says Diddy looks nervous. If those tapes come out, it won't just end him. It could end other major celebrities tied to his empire. So when you hear inmates whispering about Diddy cutting deals for favors, or when you hear fans laughing about him being broken inside MDC, remember? This ain't just about a rich man struggling in prison. This is decades of secrets, exploitation, and manipulation catching up to him all at once.
Yeah, so I didn't get the instructions from him, but it was instructions from her, like specifically. Every time I nutted, I had to nut in or around the outside of her box. Like, so on the lips, everything, and to that degree on the outside of her. And that was clockwork. It had to be done like that every single time. And actually, it was kind of mandatory. Like the session could not be over unless I nutted, and I had to nut on the outside of her. Like,
you couldn't leave until that happened?
Yeah, that was like mandatory. It was like
So
that gotta happen for the session to be over.
The ripple effect of Diddy's downfall is being felt across the entire industry. It's not just about him sitting in a cell. It's about the lawsuits, the celebrity reactions, and the way the culture has turned on him. First, let's talk lawsuits. Over the past year, Diddy has been hit with case after case from former girlfriends, employees, and industry insiders. Cassie's explosive lawsuit broke the dam, with allegations of abuse and manipulation that forced other victims to come forward. Suddenly, a man who once seemed untouchable was facing a mountain of legal battles. Add to that the federal raids on his mansions, where the feds allegedly found drugs, surveillance tapes, and even hidden rooms. And it's clear this isn't just rumor anymore. The system has receipts, and Diddy's empire is being ripped apart piece by piece. Celebrities are reacting too, but notice how many are quiet. The same people who once called Diddy family or partied with him are suddenly distancing themselves. Artists like French Montana and Meek Mill barely mention him now. Younger stars who once looked up to him don't want to be tied to his name. Even big names in Hollywood are careful not to defend him too strongly. That silence speaks volumes. In this business, when the money's flowing and the power's strong, everybody smiles. But when the walls close in, the phones stop ringing. At the same time, a few voices are celebrating. Cat Williams, Jaguar Wright, and others who warned the culture about Diddy for years are now saying, "We told you so." They're using this moment to expose what they claim is a bigger Hollywood system of exploitation. Whether people fully believe them or not, their stories line up with the allegations piling against Diddy, and that's enough to keep their names trending. The streets, meanwhile, are watching this play out with a mix of shock and satisfaction. For years, people said Diddy was untouchable, moving like a mafia boss with money and influence protecting him. Now, to see him behind bars, struggling with the same prison politics as everyone else, feels like karma. People online joke about him going from yachts to trays of rotten food, from Maybachs to prison jumpsuits. But underneath the jokes, there's a real sense that the mighty have fallen, and that nobody in hip-hop is bigger than the consequences. This shift has changed how people talk about Diddy's legacy. He used to be seen as a hustler who built an empire from Harlem to Hollywood. Now he's seen as a manipulator who used power for control. The bad boy brand, once legendary, is now overshadowed by scandal. And every day, more stories come out, more lawsuits are filed, and more insiders step forward. The snowball effect is real, and it's crushing everything Diddy built.
So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
At this point, the question isn't if Diddy's career is over. It's how much damage he'll leave behind as it burns. The lawsuits, the raids, the leaked calls, and the endless stream of insiders exposing him have created a storm too big to escape. Even if he beats some charges, the court of public opinion has already found him guilty. The mogul who once bragged about can't stop, won't stop, is now stuck in a cell, his name tied more to scandal than success. The biggest threat hanging over him right now is the possibility of those rumored party tapes coming out. If the feds really do have hard drives full of incriminating footage, Diddy's not the only one at risk. The industry is nervous because those videos could drag in other rappers, singers, actors, and executives who partied under his roof. That's why so many celebrities are keeping their distance. Nobody wants to be next in line if names start leaking. On top of that, the health rumors continue to swirl. Whispers of STDs, HIV, and years of reckless behavior have fans speculating that even if he somehow walks free, he won't be the same. Photos of him looking thinner, weaker, and more worn out than ever only fuel the gossip. For someone who built an image on power and invincibility, looking broken in public is its own kind of defeat. But the bigger story here isn't just Diddy, it's what he represents. For decades, people accused the music industry of hiding dark secrets, protecting powerful men, and sacrificing artists for money. Now, with Diddy exposed, those conversations are louder than ever. If someone as powerful as him can fall, fans are wondering who else has skeletons waiting to come out. He's become a symbol of corruption, proof that fame and fortune don't make you untouchable. And as for his legacy, that's the part that hurts the most. Once Diddy was celebrated as a mogul who put Harlem on the map, who built Bad Boy into a global brand, who gave us timeless music and unforgettable artists. Now those accomplishments are buried under scandal. The younger generation doesn't see him as a legend. They see him as a cautionary tale. His empire collapsed not because of haters, but because of what he built it on. At the end of the day, Diddy's story is a reminder that the truth always comes out. The crypts of prison politics, the feds with their files, the victims with their voices, they all converged at once. The man who once demanded everyone check in with him is now the one being checked. And the world is watching, not with admiration, but with morbid fascination at the fall of a so-called king. Outro line. At the end of the day, Diddy thought he could outrun the truth, but the truth has caught him. And this time there's no music, no money, and no power strong enough to save him.